We're streaming in three.
We're gonna go stream. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
here we go. We're here. Sorry, we're about 10 minutes late. Some technical issues
Yeah, I
tonight.
had my camera was not working and my audio decided to stop working. So we love technology. Um,
Absolutely.
Technology's great.
Mm-hmm. But we watched
So
an episode of Loki.
yes, and I'm curious, everyone watching, I'm curious what your thoughts are on it because I'm really confused. I was bored and I was like, okay, what is this? Then I go online and everyone is just freaking out about how good this is. And I feel like I can't tell if I'm over hating, if I'm just maybe it's just not for me, but I thought it was it wasn't as bad as like say episode 3 or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
like it didn't
Everyone's
it didn't
saying this is the Infinity War. This is not.
yeah, and I'm not feeling it at all. And I'd really like someone to I'm really curious why they're thinking that. I'll have to watch some more videos later.
Yeah,
Um
man.
yeah. Non-spoiler review. It's kind of filler.
Yeah, surprisingly
If you
so.
think about it, it's kind of filler. Um I didn't think this was the worst episode they've done, but it was just to me, I was very bored.
Yeah, it
That
definitely
makes
wasn't
sense.
as bad as episode 3, but like when you break it down, pretty much nothing happened in this episode. Uh
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean like clearly they're gunning for something big happening in the season finale, but
Mhm.
like it's not now. And nothing makes any sense. So,
Yeah. Here's the thing. I probably would be okay with an episode like this, one that kind of is more chill and it goes into all this other stuff, if the other episodes were good. We're running out of of episodes here. Like we got one left and it's like we had a strong start with the first episode and then it's just kind of gone down. And like it's okay to have an episode that is a little bit more laid back, but it has to balance out with your other episodes.
you don't want it to be like your penultimate episode.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
getting into
basically
spoilers.
basically what this
Um,
episode is Loki going around to different people and trying to get them to help him. That's what it
mhm,
boils down to.
yeah. So we're gonna get into spoilers now. So anyone that hasn't seen the episode, you guys want to see the episode, go ahead, get on out of here, watch it, come back, watch the replay, because we are going into spoiler territory right now. So
Yay.
yes, yeah. As you were saying, Caleb, it's basically Loki doing a whole lot of going around finding his friends,
Yup.
and yeah.
That's
I was
it.
trying to think about anything else, and I was like, wait, that's kind of all he did.
Yeah, no, nothing,
Um,
absolutely nothing else happens. He
yeah,
figured
and
something
I
out
guess
at the end.
he's trying to hone his time slipping abilities. Um,
Well, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? Do we know why he
yeah.
got it back?
Oh, why he finally did it at the end?
No, why he got the time slipping thing back.
I think they were kind of trying to explain it as like he's able to use it whenever he has like a definite goal of like saving his friends in mind or like of doing something. Which makes more sense, I guess. I was a little confused as to how it works because okay, every time we've seen him do that, it's always okay, so for example, if you have present Loki and you have a future point Loki,
Mm-hmm.
present Loki time slips forward and they can both see each other. That's been established in this show. Then he time slips back. But at the end of the show, he time slips back and it doesn't create another version. He's still it's like it's not like he went back in time. It's like he reversed time
I
entirely.
didn't even think about that. Well, okay, yeah, you could make an argument for the end, but I have a feeling there are other points in time that you could point to where that might not work. The end,
Hmm.
something completely different happens. I'm a little confused on it.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely more interested at the end than I was for the majority of the first half of the episode. So it kind of just starts off with him time slipping into these different realities, these different years, and all his friends from the TVA are now just living out normal lives. Well, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily normal for most of them. Um, so like Obi is now a book writer apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Mobius is working at a jet ski place. What's the other guy's name that was one of the Alcatraz guys?
Uh, Oscar? What?
Oscar, something
Was
like
that
that.
his name? I don't know.
He's like one of the guys that the guys that actually escaped from Alcatraz Island, which was cool, I guess.
Isn't
That was probably my favorite alternate reality, just because I think maybe it's because I'm a big COD fan. I don't know, but um, so yeah, that's kind of what happens there. Um,
Yeah. So basically, he gets this time slipping ability out of nowhere. We don't know why he got it back, even though like he had gotten rid of it before. He goes to the TVA and everyone around him is gone. Everyone's gone to previous versions of themselves. We'll find out
yeah.
later that everyone has gone to their other lives except for Sylvie, which I don't know why. Uh any theories on that? Why she got different treatment than everyone else?
Maybe it has something to do with her being a Loki. That is all I have.
Yeah, even then, like Loki being a Loki stayed at the TVA and she went back to McDonald's. Um,
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on that one. It's not like they really gave us much to go off of, and there's not really many clues as to why that's a thing.
so
So
Loki's
yeah.
going to everyone, and I was trying to figure out what he actually wanted. And
Hmm.
later he tells Sylvie that what he wants is to stop He Who Remains. Can you tell me what you think he meant by that? Because He Who Remains is dead.
Well, when yeah, that didn't make any sense. I think in that scene, Sylvie keeps pressing it, and it comes down to he wants all his friends to be together. That's
Right.
what it comes down to there. I think like his other answer, I don't. That doesn't make too much sense because
Well,
I guess maybe he just
before all of the spaghettification happens, that's the only like bad thing that they're trying to stop. I don't know what
yeah
they're trying to stop this whole episode.
yeah. Well, like up until this point, it's been mainly the time loom, and then the overarching threat of he who remains, and now obviously time loom took a big L, so it's now just he who remains. I guess. I
I
guess that's what.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was talking about that, and Sylvie presses it, and then it ends up it's because he wants all his friends to be together in one big happy family.
Yeah, and throughout the episode, it's not really worth going into detail, but there are loads of contrivances. You have like he's talking to Mobius who's living by himself and like I don't know, trying to sell jet skis and whatever, and he's kind of a like a lame father who can't control his
Hmm.
children, and Loki's like trying to convince him that he's like he used to work for the TVA and that he needs his help. And then Obi just comes out of nowhere because a he invite what are they called?
Gem
Little
pads.
yeah, he invented one in like 19 months, which I
Oh yeah.
wasn't
Well,
unaware that that was possible, but okay.
well, I think it's because Loki gave him the TVA handbook thing, and he just kind of went off of that. Um,
Yeah, I figured that was something that like you needed, I don't know, some special time stuff for. I don't know. I didn't think like any old
yeah,
person
they
could
haven't.
invent it.
Yeah, they haven't really talked about that too much. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Another thing is I can see him grabbing Obi and Mobius and maybe even Sylvie. I don't understand why he grabbed. I don't think his name is Oscar. I can't remember. I can't remember his
Yeah.
name.
Um.
Uh, Your roommate probably knows it. Grant probably knows it. Um, Casey, that was
Mm,
it. Casey.
yeah, Casey,
I don't
Casey.
understand why he grabbed Casey in B-15. Like they, uh,
I think it that comes back to he wants to save all his friends and like he just wants his friends back. I honestly think that's what it goes back to because other than that, there's no reason for him to go and grab them. I
yeah,
mean, maybe he thinks they have abilities he can use, but I I don't think so. I think it comes back to what Sylvie pried out of him. He wants all his friends to be safe.
and at that point, I would, I guess, just be like, man, Loki's like we thought Loki was character assassinated in season one. What is this?
Mhm.
Like he's literally pulling his friends out of happy lives they had just so he can be with them. Like we've established he doesn't actually have a plan. They're not there for
Yeah.
anything. He's just grabbing them so that he can be with his friends.
I will say this does remind me a lot of so when he grabs all his friends and they're all like in that room together and they're all kind of confused. It reminded me a lot of the Flash show in season 3 when they do Flashpoint and the Flash goes and like grabs all his friends and he brings them back to Star Labs and now they it's a different reality so they all have like different jobs and stuff. Tries to get them kind of to work together. So that scene did remind me a lot of that except that that was done actually good instead of the show. So I don't know. It felt the entire time it felt just kind of off. I was like, why do we need all these characters again? Because I don't feel like they can all do much, to be honest, except for like Obi and Mobius.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't I don't get it, man. Like this whole
Yeah.
episode, I was just like, man, what? Why are these people here? And
Hmm.
they treat it like you said. The time loom was this big thing, this big problem they were trying to solve for the first four episodes. That was their thing. It took forever. They were constantly urgent about it, and then they took their time. It was fine. At the end of episode four, they were like, okay, now we finally have to deal with the consequences, and it took these people probably several days before they started feeling the consequences. And admittedly, the consequences are pretty huge. Like
Yeah.
whatever this spaghettification thing is, Marvel is clearly going for something that's like a big deal for the whole universe.
Hmm.
I'm not feeling it. Like this just doesn't.
Yeah.
I literally just started laying on the ground watching it from there while I was watching this episode.
Hmm.
Like I don't know what this is.
Yeah. I it confused me because there's a lot of love for this episode out on
Hmm.
the internet right now. Now, I think I want to give it a few days and see everyone's actual opinions come out because I think it'll take some time. Obviously, we know there's some certain people they're going to have their scheduled standing for Marvel and then there's some people that are going to have their scheduled hate for Marvel. So you're going to have that, but I am just really curious overall how this ages over the next few days because it doesn't hit for me, and I was super bored throughout this entire episode,
Hmm.
and I don't know, man. I hate to be that. I feel like I sound like a broken record, but it comes back to just Loki being mid and just
Yeah.
not who he used to be. I would be okay with Loki eventually, becoming he cares for his friends. You can do that, but he's felt so weird since season 1 that it just doesn't connect or land for me.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole like breaking him down to I just want to be with my friends thing. It's like, man, doesn't he have anything like better to do? Doesn't he have any like higher goals, like some sense of purpose we can give him? Or if he does want to be with his friends, maybe he does it ethically without just like pulling them out of the lives that they do have with their children and their families.
Yeah.
Um
No,
I
I get that.
And then, yeah, I mean, we can obviously talk. Like, there were plenty of moments with contrivances or like really silly dialogue or whatever, where he was hanging out with Obi or
Hmm.
B-15 was there, and but like, it's all a waste of time. They had this whole
Yeah.
segment with Obi in a bookstore, and it was just like it leads nowhere, basically.
Hmm. There's also, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know if you went on Twitter yet, but everyone is theorizing that Loki is in love with Mobius. So that's cool. That's a thing that's happening now. Because apparently, when he went to go talk to him outside of his house, he like got his coat on and was like doing his hair and everything. Um,
Oh, well, that means you're in love with someone when you try to look
yeah,
nice. That's what that means.
dang. I guess no one can look nice for the homies anymore. It just instantly means that you're in love.
Yeah, man. Like, I have lots to say about this series, but I might as well just wait until next episode because,
Hmm.
like, looking back, there's just been so much wasted potential. And it's a
Yeah.
waste of everyone's time. I don't know. What are
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised when they didn't bring Renslayer back this episode. What's the percentage chance you think that they'll bring her back next episode? Because we still have yet to see old
Dude,
Loki too.
I'm gonna go with 80%.
Really?
I think they'll bring her back.
I feel like with the amount we still have to see, next episode might be a little bit cramped. I don't know.
Hmm. Hopefully, I mean, if they're going crazy in the final episode, which I'm down. Look, I want this final episode to go crazy and be really good. Do I
Hmm.
have high expectations that it will? No, absolutely not. But it'd be great if it actually like blew us all out of the water and it was like really cool. Um,
Well, I mean, they've had like
we'll see.
5 hours. Like they've had lots to set up. You could
Yeah,
easily pay off some really cool stuff in the next episode.
yeah. Like, and maybe it'll be like longer, like an hour and a half. I don't want to expect that because I feel like we've all been expecting that for like every Marvel show, and then it hasn't turned out to be the case, especially WandaVision. I remember there was like a leak back when WandaVision came out that the finale was going to be like 2 hours long, and everyone got like so hyped, and then we got
Oh no.
whatever the heck that finale was.
Yeah. Man, yeah. So like for me, looking at this episode, honestly, if you were to ask me what my number is just this episode, I would give it a 2 out of 10 because I can't make sense of it. Well, I don't know. Explain to me like what's he doing in this episode? I think all of it
Yeah.
breaks down on every level logically.
I got more into it when so what happens is like each timeline starts like dissolving into spaghetti or whatever.
Hmm.
And basically everything's reality is just breaking apart. And this first happens in Sylvie's timeline. We first see this happen. And she barely escapes through like a Tim pad. Um and then in the reality where Loki's brought all his friends together, everything starts breaking down and basically Loki sees everyone disappear in front of him and finally Sylvie disappears in front of him. And then he uses the time slipping. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream. It
Hmm.
doesn't make sense with what's been established with time slipping. Now, could this mean maybe there's like a theory out there that maybe he like I don't know, went to a different reality or something?
Well,
That could be, maybe.
do you think this was time slipping? Maybe it was and I missed it.
It looked like he was using like he it was his time slipping powers. But which it's been set up throughout the entire episode like that he's going to use his powers. I was like I knew he was going to use it at some point like on purpose to
Sure.
like save someone because they kept on talking about it. They kept setting it up. And so but it just doesn't make sense because like I said, you have present Loki, future Loki, and we saw present Loki went forward and he could see future Loki. They do this stuff where like whenever he time slips like he can see the other person. But in this he didn't just time slip, he reversed time.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't sure because he was doing like some really weird windmill stuff, so I thought maybe that's how you reversed it. But I think you're right that he time slipped, and in that case, yeah, you're definitely on the money for the whole time machine mechanic. uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which
wow.
unless it's like a because I know like a It could be sending your conscience back if you wanted to try and explain it without him actually like reversing time. I don't know. They just haven't really explained it yet, and maybe that'll be a big thing in the next episode. Maybe that actually means something. Kind of hope it does because it doesn't make too much sense. But yeah,
Well, yeah, they haven't made a habit of explaining things exactly.
no, they
Like if you
haven't.
asked me, if I asked you to explain to me what the time loom is right now, do you think you could do it?
Ah, I mean, it kind of keeps all the timelines from falling apart. I guess that's kind of how I've
I
understood it.
guess. I thought that's what Kang did.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
so that was an episode that we watched.
yeah, that was a thing.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I think all the people saying that this was a great episode, what are the odds that they're actually going to rewatch it? Like this show is not a rewatchable show. It's not the kind of
Oh
thing
no,
that you go
definitely
back to. Like
not at
Better Call
all.
Saul, for instance, very boring to a lot of people. Gets better on a rewatch, and I'm planning on rewatching it for a third time. Like really good
Mm,
content, you can go back to rewatch. You don't get like bored of it on just reruns. But this one, like who's really standing for this so much that they're gonna watch it through again?
I don't know. I'm assuming there's a few people that are gonna do it, but if I were to guess, I would say not many. There's not a lot in this that makes me want to go back and rewatch it. The only thing that I might rewatch would be the first episode, but we're so far into the show now that I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I mean, even some of the episodes from season one, I remember some good moments, and I'm like, yeah, I'd rewatch this. This season has been remarkably filler for all of the things that happen. I
Mm-hmm.
think you could have boiled what happens right here down to two episodes. Keep the first episode the same, then have the time loom break down 75% through episode two. I mean, you can remove Kang. He ended up literally being meaningless to the plot. So was Renslayer and Miss
Yeah.
Minute so far. And just so was the councilwoman. So you can remove that whole thread.
Mm-hmm.
Just have episode one, and then have the time loom break, and then establish time slipping, and boom, you've got four more episodes to go.
Yeah. I would say overall, like my expectations with this show, like especially, dude, I had my expectations went up a lot after episode one
Mm-hmm.
because it was actually decent and I was excited, and it just keeps going down, and there's so many things that they just don't deliver on, and it's really unfortunate. But hey, maybe the finale will be good. We'll see next week.
Everyone's saying it's
I'm
gonna do something. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest, just Marvel right now, like all their most recent content just feels like homework.
Hmm.
And I got enough of that in college. So
Yeah. Well, I
I
saw a clip of the Marvels. I might want to show you after this. It has
okay.
me genuinely looking forward to this thing. It's kind of hilarious.
Okay.
So,
Okay. That's good to know. Well yeah.
ironically, like a Spider-Man 3 kind of looking forward to this.
Yes, yes. Um on other news, Invincible, uh episode 1 of season 2 just dropped, so I'm gonna go watch that after the stream. Hopefully I'll talk about it sometime soon. Super excited for that. And I think the finale for Gen V may have dropped.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but I will go watch that as well. And hopefully I'll be able to talk about it on our next stream. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, maybe we should do something tomorrow or Saturday night so you can talk about it.
I am definitely down. We also got the Attack on Titan finale coming up. I am
Oh yeah.
absolutely pumped out of my mind. They dropped that trailer It looked amazing. It is going to be manga ending unless the trailer is completely throwing us off, which would also be pretty cool. I know Isayama confirmed that he rewrote the last like part of the script apparently like a long time ago when they were thinking through this all. So I'm curious how that'll play out. And yeah, super excited for that.
Sure. So you'll probably be seeing a little bit of us over the next week. We'll be doing a couple
Yes,
extra
yes.
streams probably. Otherwise, if you watched or are going to watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, we did a stream on it where we broke it down and talked about some of the lore and stuff. So you should maybe watch that for fun. And we
Yes.
have done some gaming as well. But
Yes.
other than that, besides those extra streams, we'll be back next Thursday at probably 7 and then at 11 again to talk about the lovely, wonderful, amazing, great, fantastic season 2 episode 6 finale.
Yes. Let us know down below what you think of this episode of Loki. If especially if you really liked it, I would love to hear your opinion on it and just see what about that episode is gripping to you cuz I feel
Yeah,
like I'm really out of the loop with the whole fandom right now. I'm trying to figure out where my head's at, so I would definitely love to see what your guys' opinions are on this episode.
legitimately, maybe these characters really speak to you. And if that's the case, I would like to hear about it and I'd like to know why. So, we will
Mhm.
see you later.
Yes, see you